Everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be for all of you Etsy sellers out there, or those of you who are thinking about opening up an Etsy shop. If you haven't already heard, Etsy has changed a lot of the things that they are doing as far as aiding customers to connect with buyers. So they have made several changes that they are wanting sellers to adhere to in order to increase your chances of being found by potential customers. So if you haven't already implemented these changes into your shop, I believe they took effect in September. If you haven't already implemented these into your shop, you need to get on that right away. Because if you are still utilizing the old way, then you are really reducing your chances of getting seen by potential customers. Etsy is constantly changing. They are always updating their algorithms. They are always trying to find new ways to connect customers to sellers, especially since there are so many sellers on Etsy. It benefits them if you do well. So they're always trying to find ways to do that. Before we get into these new changes, I want to remind you, if you are watching YouTube, if you're going to different channels and you're searching for ways to do things on Etsy, you need to pay attention. I've mentioned this before, but it's very important. You need to pay attention to the date that the video was released. Because as I said, Etsy is constantly changing. And if you're watching videos from 6 months ago, from let's say August of 2018 or before, a lot of the things that are being said are not any longer relevant. They have changed since September. So a lot of my videos included. So the reason why I'm leaving my videos up from prior to September is because I still have a lot of really relevant information. But it is up to you to make sure that you are watching the most relevant videos. So the most recently released videos. So always check that out. My dog is coming, so warning here. So anyway, we're going to get right into it, and we're going to talk about the ways that Etsy has changed everything so that you can make the best of your shop and you can connect to more customers. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's talk about titles. So when someone is looking for something on Etsy, they're going to first peruse all of the photographs of the things that they might be potentially interested in. And then from there, they're going to read the listing title. This is what tells them what it is that you are selling. Now, if you have watched any of my previous videos on titles and how to do titles, none of that is relevant anymore. So this is what you want to do. As of this video, which is in December of 2018, I believe this went into effect, I want to say September of 2018. So for the last 3 months or so, this has been what they would like for you to do. The way it used to be is they would want you to cram that title full of keywords. If you were to go to Etsy 4 months ago and any time prior to that, you would have seen listing titles that made no sense to read. They were just basically words that were crammed together, some with commas in between, some without, some with colons in between, but they were just basically just words that were just appearing one right after the other from, to be able to cram as many of those words in the title as possible. They do not want you to do that anymore. The reason why they wanted you to do that was because it was easier for your item to get seen by search, by their search engine. And since they have changed that, now what they want you to do is they want you to create a title that you feel customers would look for. They want you to keep it simple. They want you to keep it customer friendly. So no longer do you just cram in keywords into your title or descriptive words into your title. Now they want you to create a title that is easy to read and contains a basic phrase that that most describes your item. So if you were to go to my Etsy page, for example, and I have a cute little possum that I painted. It's a baby possum. It's very popular right around here in the holidays. So I wanted to try and create something as descriptive and as short and as user-friendly as possible. So I don't remember what I have for the listing title, but I'm sure it says something like Cute Baby Possum Art Print by Ellen Brenneman. So that is easy to read, it's user-friendly, and it gives a basic description of what it is that I'm selling. Before, it was completely different. It wasn't something that was customer friendly to read. It just basically included just a bunch of keywords: possum, baby possum, colorful possum, possum painting, Ellen Brenneman. It would just words just sort of crammed together that would describe it. Now, so basically now they just want you to keep it as simple as possible and as descriptive as possible, but make sure that you can create something that is easy for the customer to read. So that's the direction that they're going now. So that's pretty much about it about titles. Okay, up next is tags. You can find your tags by scrolling down to the very bottom of any particular listing. They're usually located in little boxes. They're words at the very bottom of any kind of a listing that you see on Etsy. Scroll all the way to the bottom and you will see what that seller has used for tags for that item that they're selling. Do this in order to get ideas for your own tags by searching for similar items to what you are selling. That's always a good idea to do because somebody will ultimately think of something that maybe you haven't thought of, and then you can use that for yours as well for inspiration. So tags are going to be especially important. That is the way that customers are going to find your item. Plain and simple. Aside from the title of what it is that you're selling, it's your tags that is going to connect you with those people. So they need to be strong. They need to reflect what it is that you are selling. All too often, I look at other people's tags and they are using very nondescript, very generic tags to describe their items. The more descriptive you can be, the better your chances will be of getting found. Let's say you are selling a mug that has a picture or a painting of a horse on it. The last thing that you want to see in a tag would be the word mug, the word horse. Those are so generic. Those are so not, yes, they may describe, yes, I'm selling a mug, and so I'm going to use the word mug as a particular tag, but you can't just think like that. You have to think outside the box, because if someone is coming to Etsy to look for a mug, let's say that they know that they want a mug, they are very unlikely to type in the word mug into the search bar. And if they did, it would generate so many pages of different kinds of mugs that it would be overwhelming. What if they know that they want a mug of an animal? Maybe they don't know they want a mug of a horse. Maybe they just know that they want an animal mug. Then it would be to your benefit to put in that tag animal mug. At the very least, you want to be more descriptive. So the more descriptive you can be, the better it will connect you to your buyer. I would go as far as to recommend you adding tags like farm animal mug. You find horses on farms, so someone may search for that. That is more descriptive. If you have a painting of a horse on a mug, and let's say you're using non-traditional colors, put colorful horse mug. Anything that you can use, again, to be more descriptive will be better for you. Use up all 13 tags. That, again, if you're not utilizing all of those tags, you are doing yourself a disservice. If you don't know what to do for tags, you need to contact your friends. You need to contact your followers on Facebook for assistance, your family members. Set your item in front of them and say, how would you describe this particular item or this painting or whatever it is that you're selling? And then have a pencil and paper handy and write down what they say. Then from there, you can maybe get keywords that you can put together to use as tags. So the more descriptive you are, the better. The other thing that Etsy is doing that is different is that you no longer have to put the same words in your tags that you have in your title. So, I mean, you can, but it doesn't do you any more of a benefit to do that, I guess is what I'm saying, because they're using the words in your title already. So if you use the word horse in your title, which I'm assuming you will, if that is what you are going to be selling, you're going to want to include that in your title. You don't have to use that in your tags because they will already get that keyword from your listing title. I want to make sure I say that right so I don't confuse you. So if I have the word horse in my title, I don't have to use it in my tags as well, because it's just you're just duplicating the same word. So it just gives you more of an opportunity to be more creative and find more words. So that's the big difference on tags. So make sure that you do that. Okay, so moving on to the description. This is the body of text that is under your title that gives you free rein to explain exactly what it is you're selling, to make it sound as appealing as possible to your customer, and hopefully will get them excited about wanting to purchase your item. So the thing to remember with your description above anything else is that within the first few lines, actually not even the first few, I think it's like the first 2 lines in your description, you want to again reiterate what it is that you're selling. So what I mean by that is within the first 2 lines, you want to have your most important descriptive words in the first couple of sentences. So we're going to go back and let's use this horse mug, for example. So in the beginning of your description, you're going to want to include those key words. You're going to want to let people know that it's a mug, that it's a painting or a picture, photograph, whatever, of a horse. And you want to give as many of the important words as possible within the first couple of lines, because the reason why this is important is because Google also uses those keywords at the very beginning of your description for their search. So let's say somebody is not coming to Etsy. Let's say they're just searching on Google for, maybe they want to shop for a horse mug, but they don't know where they want to purchase it from. Google will pick up those keywords in the first couple of lines of your description, and they will include that within their search engine. So this gets you found not only by Etsy, but also by Google. So make sure that you do that. From there, go at it. Have the rest of the body of your description be as descriptive as you want. Say what you want. Tell the story of what it is that you're selling. Obviously, make sure that you give as many descriptive words as possible. Like if it's a painting, make sure you give the size, the medium that you use, the title, where it might fit well in someone's home. Give them some ideas. Like this would go perfect over a fireplace mantle, or this would be perfect for a kitchen nook or your office space or whatever. But just make sure that those first couple of sentences include very strong descriptive words as to what your item is. And that is a very important thing to take away from this. Okay, everybody, that is it for today's video. I hope you found this helpful. Before I close, I want to make sure that you are aware that Etsy has a seller's handbook. If you ever have any questions about changes that are taking place, or you want to know what's relevant, what's not relevant, what's true, what isn't true, go to Etsy's seller's handbook, and that is going to give you the most updated information, and it will explain everything that I have just said, probably a lot better than I just said, and I will include a link to that below in the description bar. So I highly recommend that you go there and just read through everything and make sure that it sinks in, especially if you have any questions on anything that I have mentioned in today's video. You will find direct answers to that in the Etsy Seller's Handbook. So I'll link that below. And good luck with your shops, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.